All right. So why did it come to this?
Your Honor, it was just a messed up situation that night. I wish I could have made a different decision. You know, my son was in the car with me. I was worried about his safety 100%. And on a minute that hasn't gone by since this has happened, that I wish I could have made a better decision that night.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but I still don't understand how an argument on the road comes to a pulling of a weapon. I just don't understand that. And they're asking for a driver safety course. They're asking for a gun safety course. They're asking that you forfeit your horseshoe bay badge credentials. And they're saying that you flashed a badge and that you were no longer employed with them. So I'm just trying to figure out what conditions would be appropriate for you. This is why I asked these questions, because
I only
there's a lot listed.
used the old trying to diffuse the situation. I thought it would help. That was it. There was no other reason behind it.
Why did you still have the badge?
It was given to me by my chief of police at the time as a memento, because that was my first job there before I went to Border Patrol.
So where do you work now?
I've left I left Border Patrol in 2016. I went back to construction. I'm a home inspector for new homes. Till this happened, I was planning on going back to actually apply for ICE. That's null and void.
I mean, but here it says that you pulled out a handgun with a silencer attached to it and opened fire. Am I reading that incorrectly?
No, so Judge, he has a suppressor, and so his parents live near Kerrville.
Okay.
That's what the mother and father, they had gone out to her birthday celebration that night. He was going home with his son. And they have it's in a rural area, so they actually have kind of a setup where they do target practice. The suppressor has more to do with not making loud bangs. That's why he had, and it's legally owned. He's got the stamp for it. I have it in my file back, trial file. It's not illegally possessed. Otherwise, I guess the feds would be involved in this case, Your Honor. That's why I had the silencer. I can tell you that there was a perception on my client's part that the kid was tailgating. Then there was a brake check, which you can see from the statement and the police reports. And then the kid comes around really close, rolls down his window, honks at him, yells, starts cussing, and it kind of goes from there. It goes kind of south. I think my client thought he could handle the situation. He thought he would diffuse it with the badge. That didn't work. And then at the moment when this all happened, apparently the young man had a phone in his hand. This was at night, and he made a gesture kind of with his hand to the side, which at that moment in time, my client, who was already kind of freaked out, thought it was a gun. And this was an apparent danger case, Your Honor. Police didn't find a gun in the kid's car, but that's what we saw. We actually, in the subpoenas, dug up extraneous acts where the kid had got in trouble at school for posting shots on social media with him with guns. And he's holding it the same way he was holding the phone. When he's talking to the police officers, he's holding it, he's pointing like this. So that's the gesture my client saw in that moment. He made a mistake. We've spent a lot of time on this. The state has spent a lot of time. They showed us a new witness who was the girlfriend of the young man in the car at the time that nobody had ever found. We'd always went, why weren't they looking for the girlfriend? We couldn't find her. We didn't know her name. Ms. Alban did a great job preparing for trial. And that's kind of why we're here today, Judge. I think both sides have kind of met in the middle. Again, my client doesn't have a violent background. It's just thank God that he didn't hit the kid. So that's why we're here.
Oh, is there something else?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure it's clear. The gun was in the car because of going out target practicing, but he had gone and met his family for dinner, and he was going home, and they were in the back seat of the car, in a bag. You know, it wasn't as if routinely carries a gun.
He had been target practicing at his parents' house prior to dinner. He actually had a concealed carry permit, which he's since had to relinquish. The state revoked because of this.
Is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else from the state?
Defendant is happy with this resolution. I would, the court would like to hear now, I do have a restitution amount, but on the judgment. if you would like.
Yes.
It's $2,463.82.
I'm sorry,
No, you're
just 1 second. If you could repeat that?
$2,463.82.
So is there any disagreement on that restitution amount?
No, I think that was part of the discovery, which we actually had the receipt from the repair shop, Your Honor. There,
And where will you have that restitution amount?
Judge, I think it's going to take a couple of months if the court would entertain that. He started this job about June, maybe, and so there's been some lag time, and I mean, he is the independent contractor, so lag time in taking the jobs and getting paid.
All right, just 1 second. Excuse me. Everybody on this side, y'all need to move because probation can't see and they can't hear what's going on. All right, so when do you think it will be, oh, and state your excuse. When do you think he will have that?
If I had, I would say a minimum 2 months.
Yeah, 60 days.
All right. And that's 60 days from today? All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court, and I'm going to tell you, I was considering sending you to jail as a condition. But the state is saying that the complainant is in agreement to this being your sentence. So you can thank the complainant for that. Because sometimes I feel as though people need to have a chance to be alone in their thoughts at the jail to consider everything that is what they've done. And it appears that you've taken that into consideration. And it appears that on this night, everything that could go wrong did go wrong. But don't brake check people. People don't like to be brake checked. That's just my experience from driving. All right, 5 years deferred adjudication, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. And I'm sorry, what do? You said you're in construction?
Yes, we have new home inspections.
All right, he can do regular random UAs, or either you can do the patch. The patch costs more, but with the patch, it gives you more freedom because probation will put it on and probation will take it off. Patch costs more though. So you can either do regular random UAs or the patch. Proof of employment within 45 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider with minors. 120 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to require parenting classes. Once you complete that, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. MRT, the anger management course. You're to forfeit the weapon, and you're to forfeit your horseshoe bay badge credentials. There's to be no firearm possession. There's to be restitution in the amount of $2,463.82 to Joseph Pettis, and that's to be paid in full within 60 days. There's to be no contact with Joseph Pettis. There's to be no employment with law enforcement or any type of security. There's to be field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. Are you here in Bear County?
Yes,
All right. Probation, is there anything else? All right, and I'm sorry, there's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. Is there anything else that you need from the court?
Yeah, Judge, in regard to employment, if some of the jobs are out of county, I know some are in contiguous counties, but if they're further, does he just, can he get permission to do that if he shows probation where he's going?
Yes.
Okay.
Probation, he's allowed to work throughout Bear County and other counties, but you'll need to provide notification to probation that you're going to be working out of county. Working in county, that's fine. But if you're going out of county, you need to let them know. All right, is there anything else?
And I just, and actually part of the plea bargain was actually to not only just waive, but to actually dismiss the set count two. I don't know if that was clear. You did do it, you waived it, but that is part of the inducement for the plea is that, and it was to be.
Oh, I've already said that it's been waived. It's on the record.
No, I understand that, but they, I'm just being hyper-technical.
No. I understand what you're saying, but I put on the record that
Yes,
it was waived and you all had no objections to it being waived.
correct,
So
correct.
it will not come back.
Okay,
It's not
that's,
allowed to come back.
there you go.
'Cause-
That's what I
All
want.
right, thank
That's,
you.
sorry.
No problem.
All
Did you, and I'm sorry, there's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because it's a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. In this court, communication with probation is key. If there's an issue, you need to let them know about it. If you feel they're not addressing it, you can always come back and address it to court. But whatever you do not disappear on probation. That's not a good look. You understand? All right, good luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.